Welcome, welcome. It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. I know it's been a long time since I got a video out, way back in Invictus around that time. I do apologize to all of you for not getting more content out. My work has been killing me this year. We've been super busy. It will continue to be busy throughout the rest of the year, so I'm not going to make a whole lot in the way of promises, but I am going to try to get much more content out for you guys. I find myself with a desire to create more time to get these videos out. We'll put it that away. I've also started another YouTube channel for leisurely activity that I just decided I wanted to get back into after 25 years of not doing. So if you guys want to check out Cowboy Golf, I'm doing some club reviews and I'll actually go play a few rounds and capture that for you guys. Quality is not super great yet, but we'll get there. Okay, so what is this video all about? Well, as the title says, should you be excited about 324? Personally, I can't answer that question. I can tell you where I'm at on it. So they've been testing this patch for quite some time. And early on, it had some issues. It had a lot of issues. That doesn't seem to be the case now. As you can see in this footage that I'm showing you, the new patch that's on the PTU is pretty stable. It's pretty clean. You know, I see great graphics. I'm not getting any stuttering. So far, the missions that I've tried to undergo seem to be working. You know, that's probably not the case for all of them, and that's probably not the case that you guys have all experienced. So definitely let me know in the comments down below what your experience with 324 is right now. But this seems to be like a decent version of the patch on the PTU. So I would guess that this is a live candidate, you know, possibility. The question is, how much turnaround before 4.0? This seems like there's a lot of quality of life improvements. And actually, let me read through some of the stuff that they are putting into 324 that may or may not interest you, such as freight elevators. So they're going to implement systems and content for players to physically load and unload their cargo to and from their ships. So whenever you go into your personal hangar, you will be able to go over to the freight elevator and call up whatever cargo it is that you need for your mission or that you need to pull out of your inventory. And you'll be able to either don it, move it, whatever. You know, you can move it onto your ships if you've got a tractor tool available. So make sure you have one of those, especially for the larger cargo, because you won't be able to move it without it. The next thing that they're going to put in there are some new missions, like the cargo hauling missions. So the new hauling missions will be able to send players to pick up and transport cargo utilizing all the new freight platforms. You're watching me kind of test this out a little bit. It's pretty interesting. Like the first one I took from Area 18 took me up to Baiini. I went to the freight elevator, called up the cargo, loaded it on the ship, and I could fly it back to to Area 18 and cash in about 13,000 credits. Not too bad, not too shabby. Then they also added personal and instance hangars. As you know, I just talked about that, but the new tech will create an instance for your player hangar that'll allow you to uninterrupted management of your cargo, inventory, and vehicles. So nobody's going to come in and kill you unless you invite them in. And then you also aren't going to get shunted out, booted out for being in there too long. Your personal hangar is your personal space, so you'll be able to do what you need to do in there. And then storage access. So they're going to allow players to retrieve and store FPS items at multiple locations. You know, we've had some of that on ships before, so I'm sure that's going to expand a little bit more. I did not experience that in my gameplay because I haven't gone to that length yet. Then there's also going to be the dynamic event called Blockade Runner. It's a new event where players can defend shipments of quantanium from the Ninetales. They're going to be attacking, and you can go in and support defend ships that are bringing in Quantanium. I think you are able to transport it yourself as well. But those are really the only things that they're bringing into 324, and some polish that they're not talking about on the front end. But they're definitely polishing some of the stuff that's breaking in 323. If you've played on the PU, you know that things are breaking, and it's not a pleasant experience. I've kind of almost given up playing on the PU until 324 comes out. It's rough. Let's just put that away. We've had some cancellations and org nights because the servers are not great. Now, I will go ahead and talk a little bit about 4.0 because it's got a few things coming down the pipe that you should really be excited for. And I hope they get this out by CitizenCon. I'm sure that's the goal because they've got other plans at CitizenCon that they're not sharing with us. So let's talk about 4.0. They're going to give us more player customization. So they're going to add new hair, new faces, and other options for the character customizer. They're going to add, of course, a bunch of new locations. Pyro. So they're going to have Pyro 2, Pyro 6. So you got Monox, Terminus, Pyro 5, Pyro 4, Pyro 3 called Bloom, Pyro 1. They're going to add acidic caves. So that does not sound fun. But they're going to have these acidic caves. They're going to have rock caves. They're going to have asteroid bases, which does sound cool. And them talking about it sounded kind of interesting as well. So that should add some new gameplay to you guys who like to do the FPS stuff and all that. You'll be able to fight it out on asteroid bases. Space stations, they're going to have some contested zones on space stations, so you can get in there and fight for your faction, so to speak, and see if you can take over a space station there in Pyro. Voltra, which is Pyro 5's second moon, that's going to be in there. Adir, which is the third moon, and the fourth moon, Pharaoh. Fuego, the fifth moon. The sixth moon, Ver. A lot of moons around Pyro 5, so that's going to be a lot of places to go to and explore and experience everything that Pyro has. The Pyro space station's obviously going to be put in. Outpost and colonialism. Of course, jump points. We're going to be able to finally jump from Stanton to Pyro, so that's going to be exciting. Ignis, which is the first moon of Pyro 5, so all the Pyro 5 moons are going to be in. And then we can talk about some of the AI stuff. They're going to have the Quasi-Brazier, which is a new animal that they're adding in. And then as far as gameplay, fire hazards, solar bursts, which could mess up your systems, so make sure you have some spares on board. You're going to have to deal with life support, engineering, and then they're going to add the Zeus Mark II CL. They're going to rework MFDs and displays. They're changing them over to building blocks. You're going to get the Zeus Mark II ES. And then as far as weapons, there's going to be some updates to the multi-tool. You're going to be able to charge and drain those multi-tools as well, or other objects and items with the multi-tools. There's going to be fire extinguishers. And then on the Cortex side, server meshing version 1, the mission system refactor, which should help with the server meshing side of things. And then the transit system refactor is also going to come into play, which will help with a lot of those ghosting trains and that type of thing. So what do you guys think of 324? Are you excited for it? Personally, I think it's going to be short and sweet. So the patch will be short. It'll have some life improvements for us. We'll be able to enjoy the game again a little bit. And then 4.0 will come out, and hopefully it won't break everything again, but it'll be a masterpiece of playability. That's what I am hoping for. But in typical CIG manner, that'll get screwed up somehow, right? We all know it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Definitely check out my other channel that I've got going on called Cowboy Golf. I'll leave a link in the description. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button on both those channels. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you out in the verse.